The reason Evenlode Orchard Cider is special is because it's relevant to Daylesford. It's about celebrating what comes out of the land in this area. With a decent cider, the idea you have a balance of sweetness, acidity and tannin. Tannins gives you that depth of flavour, it dries out the tongue, it gives all the aromas. The acidity comes from the cooking apples that are generally grown on the estate. The cider orchard up in Oddington, it was planted in the late 80s to about 400 trees, over 10 acres. The cider varieties, they are broken into 3 different types: bitter sweets, bitter sharps and sharps. The fruit is taken back to the farm where we put it through the combined scratter and press. The pulp is put into cloths and the cloth parcels are stacked to form a cheese, and then the cheese is pressed. Whenever we press the cheese, it will yield 25 to 40 litres of juice. The dry apple pulp from the presser is a great ingredient in our compost that gets put on the compost heap, and then in the course of time that compost is used to enrich the soil in the garden. Cider is simply fermented apple juice, and if you ferment it correctly, the sugar will turn to alcohol and it won't turn to anything like vinegar. So the juice is containerised and the initial fermentation takes between 8 and 10 weeks. But after that time we transfer the cider into oak barrels and it's aged for 7 to 15 months. At bottling, you filter out the yeast, so you have this more genuine reflection of the original juice and where the juice comes from. The apple tree is the most efficient, ecologically sound way of taking moisture out of the ground, reacting with sunlight, creating fruit that you can turn into this drink that's specific to that location, and it's relevant to Daylesford.